I just called to say I love you. I just called Joe Biden to tell him I care. I just called the Democrats, I love you. And we mean it from the bottom of our hearts.
News, facts, opinion. Lace up those kicks and hold on tight. It's about to go down. Welcome to the Conservative Minded Podcast, a place where realness and rights trump emotions and fear. If you're looking for conservative talk with a soulful, educated vibe, then it's time to crank it up. Now, here's your host, a published author, a righteous brother, a soldier, scholar, and patriot, Mr. Helluva Robert Waples.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Wow. Stevie Wonder stopped in real quick just to say that he loves the Democrats, along with Spike Lee and all the rest of the sycophants out there. You know what? I'm so happy. I absolutely cut the intro short today. And the reason why I cut it short today is because I can't wait to get with y'all folks out there. So, oh boy, we got a whole lot to talk about. I want to say thank you for dropping in and checking me out. First, I want to get into the fact that I think that y'all should like and share this video, like and share the video. So, thanks. Checking out Conservative Minded. I'm your host, Mr. Helluva, aka Mr. Robert Waples, and this is my little den of iniquity. So, thanks for checking us out. Oh boy, 5 days in, y'all. We're 5 days in. You know what? The hell with the hook. I'm going in today. I'm going all the way in. We're 5 days into the Biden presidency. And look at the crap that we've got going on today already. I need a hold on a second. That's some good stuff right there. So back again, I want to say thank you for checking me out. It's not enough. It's not enough that Biden and Harris are in office. It's just not enough. According to Antifa and Black Lives Matter and the Youth Liberation Movement. Yeah, the Youth Liberation Movement. The Youth Liberation Movement. I thought this was the United States of America. I didn't know that we had or had a need for a youth liberation movement. But we got one. So anyway, what are they demanding actually? What is it that the Youth Liberation Movement and Antifa and Black Lives Matter, what is it that these people want? What is it? What are they doing? They want total socialism. They want total and complete socialism. Socialism is nothing but communism 2.0. It's communism light. That's what they want. You want to know how I know this? I'm going to tell you how I know this because we're 5 days into the Biden presidency. And since the inauguration, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and the Youth Liberation Movement have been in Seattle, firebombing and rioting with police ever since 5 days ago, January 20th, fighting with the police, firebombing the courthouse, and acting like pure animals. That's what they've been doing. Okay? So now, last night, they spread to Portland. They're in Portland. And now they're rioting in Portland. But not right now. Now they're in Denver. Today, right now, they're in Denver, Colorado, fighting with the police. What the hell are you fighting over? Why are you fighting? You won the election. You and your little socialist friends, you and your little sycophants, you little parasites, everybody that wants something for free, wants to be absolved of all personal responsibility. You want Biden to pay your student loans and send you $2,000 worth of free money. Free money. Okay? You won. You won. And you've been fighting and acting like animals ever since he got sworn in. Why? Why? Donald Trump's not the president anymore. Donald Trump's not the president anymore. So why are you out there fighting with police and acting like a bunch of pure animals? It's because you want socialism. Biden and Harris are not enough for you. You want more. That's what you want. Y'all drive me to do this. This is y'all's fault. All the Democrats and the hijacked liberals and progressives and all you weirdos out there, y'all make me do this. And it's it's absolutely terrible. It's your fault. So when I show up at the next meeting, I'm going to sit there and say, "Hi, my name is Robert, and I'm a conservative." But, back to what I was talking about, man, you want straight. I mean, you've been acting like complete animals ever since Biden got elected into office. And it's just not enough for you. It's just not enough. So what else has to happen in order to make you happy? What else has to happen for you to stop hurting police officers? For you to stop breaking the public trust? For you to start acting the way that you wanted us to act when Donald Trump was in office. So it's okay for you to do it, but as soon as we get out there and have one day of misconception and entanglement, then here y'all come. Chucky Schumer, Dianne Feinstein, here y'all come running. Here you come. Oh, Donald Trump needs to be held responsible. And we're going to get into this a little bit later on in the program. But Donald Trump needs to be held responsible for the actions of his constituents, his followers. Really? Really? Oh, we're definitely going to get into that. Make no doubt about it. So that brings me on to my next point. I want to talk about, and I'm going to spend this particular show right here talking about the media. I just, the reason why I called you today is because I want to talk about the media. And that's the basis of my conversation with you tonight. The whole Stevie Wonder thing in the beginning, you know what that is? That was essentially my take on how celebrities and how, famous people have been in bed with the liberal media for the last God knows how many years. Let me explain something to you. Okay? And I was going to save this for a little bit later in the program, but I'm going to get into it right now. I want to talk about marriage testimony, marital privilege. When you commit a crime, and the only reason why I know this is because I'm a former police officer. Okay, so don't get your wires crossed and think that I'm some sort of I'm on the lam or something. I'm trying to avoid the hooskow. But it's impossible according to the law to force a wife to testify against a husband, or a husband to testify against a wife. Okay? I'm going to school y'all on something now, so I want you to pay close attention to the words that I say. So, it's called marital privilege. And so what we're witnessing right now in the liberal media, in the Democrat and progressive media, we've not only been witnessing it right now, but we witnessed it the entire 8 years that Barack Obama was in office. And we watched the disillusion of it for 4 years while Donald Trump was in office. And what this is basically You've got the press secretary of the United States standing up in front of a podium, basically knocking softball questions right out of the park. Right out of the park. When over the last 8 years, you've had the exact same thing. Well, tell me, Mr. Obama, what type of shoes do you wear and are they comfortable? I sat here and watched an interview today where someone asked on Twitter, Joe Biden, Mr. Biden, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? And of course, him being the forever politician, literally forever, you know what he said? Chocolate chip. Because if he had said chocolate, well, then he didn't like vanilla. If he had said vanilla, then he didn't like chocolate. And then that would have snowballed into something else had the media not been in bed with the Democrat Party for as long as they were. If it was Donald Trump that said that, trust me, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, you and I. Okay? But instead, he said chocolate chip. So marital privilege, back to what it is that I was talking about. The Democrat Party has different factions that belong to it. Okay? There are different factions that belong to the Democrat Party. For example, the KKK. The KKK was the militarized arm of the Democrat Party. I dare anybody to jump in the comments section and refute or dispute that. Anybody. I dare any one of you. The KKK was a militarized arm of the Democrat Party. But if you think it stops there, you're sadly mistaken because they were just getting started. If they wanted to institute voter suppression, especially in the South, they used the KKK to do it. All right? So why stop there? If we can create a military wing of the Democrat Party to stop people, not just minorities, but people from voting, then what else can we come up with? Oh, I got it. The one institution that's covered in the Constitution that's supposed to be an uninterested third party and holds everybody accountable. Do you want to know what that branch was or is? It's the media. We can get started on the media. We can use the media to our advantage. That's what we're going to do. The Democrat Party, we're going to get in bed with. We have to start now. I mean, think about it like this. The Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws were instituted to stop black people from drinking from the same water fountain as white people, from using the same entrances to the front of a Woolworths or Strawbridge and Clothier if you're from Philadelphia, okay? As white people, you got to enter from the back. You got to go around the alleyway and come into the back door, okay? Jim Crow laws. We're going to pack the Supreme Court that's going to pass case law that's going to uphold this so that we can use the courts to our advantage. This is the Democrat Party. This is the history of the Democrat Party. The same party that voted Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, gave Chucky Schumer control of the Senate, and gave what's her the drunk lady? What's the drunk lady's name? The one that looks like she's on heroin all the time. Oh, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. Gave her control of the lower chamber. This is your Democrat Party. This is what you represent. I'm talking to the Democrats out there because I know us conservatives, black, white, brown, black, white, brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Asian, like we don't believe in this stuff. We believe in equality for everybody. We believe in limited government, adhering to the Constitution. We're leery of things. We pre-think things before we actually do it. We want to make sure that the consequences are worth it because everything has consequences. Us conservatives, that's what we believe. Democrats, on the other hand, Democrats believe in complete and total control. That's what this is about. It's about control. So back to the marital privilege because, I don't want to stray too far off the topic. I can do this all night. I could talk about Democrats and their little tentacles of reaching out there and sinking their fingers into everyday society and trying to change everything. I can do that, but I won't. I'm going to stick to the topic at hand. Marital privilege. The media. The media has been in bed with the Democrat Party for a very, very long time. And you didn't really witness it until 2016 when Donald Trump got elected. His press conferences turned into absolute, and if you've got kids in the room, you might want to cover their ears or tell them to leave immediately. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Donald Trump's press conferences, thanks to people like Jim Acosta, so on and so forth, turned into absolute shit shows. That's what they were. Anything that they could come up with, anything at all that they could come up with to try to get an inch on Donald Trump, they exploited it. Absolutely exploited it. And that was not the original intent. That wasn't the reason why the media was given carte blanche in the First Amendment. That wasn't the reason why. They're supposed to hold everybody accountable, not just Republicans, not just conservatives, not just libertarians. They're supposed to hold everybody accountable. And did they? No. Bet your bottom dollar they did not. You have a man in Donald Trump right now that is no longer the president and hasn't been the president for the last 5 days. He's been out of office since 8:30. What was that? Wednesday morning on January 20th, 2021. He jumped on the plane and flew to Mar-a-Lago, and that's his home now. Okay? I'm going to read to you an article that just came out today that was released by ABC News. Headline: China sends warplanes through Taiwanese airspace. Taiwan claims Chinese military aircraft have violated its airspace for a second day in a row. 8 Chinese bomber planes and 4 fighter jets entered the southwestern corner of Taiwan's air defense identification zone on Saturday, leading Taiwan's Air Force to deploy missiles to monitor the incursion. The defense ministry in Taipei said China on Sunday sent another 16 military aircraft and of various types into the exact same area the following day. The U.S. State Department on Saturday said it was concerned by China's pattern of ongoing attempts to intimidate its neighbors, including Taiwan. This is a quote from the State Department. We urge Beijing to cease its military, diplomatic, and economic pressure against Taiwan and instead engage in meaningful dialogue with Taiwan's democratically elected representatives, said Ned Price from the State Department. There was no immediate Chinese comment. 5 days, y'all. 5 days. We're 5 days into the Biden presidency. And if you've got kids in the room, you might want to ask them to leave really quickly because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a shit show. Joe Biden's foreign policy is already endangering Taiwanese and possibly American lives 5 days into his presidency. Do you think that they would have pulled this shit while Donald Trump was still in office? There was no saber rattling going on from North Korea while Donald Trump was in office for 4 years. There was no saber rattling going on from the Chinese the 4 years that Donald Trump was in office. Iran put a damn ad in a newspaper with Donald Trump playing golf and the shadow of a plane over top of him, and it says payback has consequences or something. I'm paraphrasing. Something like payback's a bitch. This is what, really? You want to know why? Because they can go after a former president in the Biden presidency, and Biden won't do a damn thing about it. This is a man who built 400 miles of border wall. This is a man who dropped black unemployment to record lows. This is a man who dropped Hispanic unemployment to record lows. This is a man who shot the American Stock Exchange to the highest levels ever recorded in history. This is a man who passed not just one, but two, First Step Acts towards getting nonviolent minorities a second chance instead of going to prison. This is a man that started not one, but two trade wars with the European Union and the Chinese and won them both. He's been out of office for 5 days, and all I can hear about is impeachment trial. Impeachment trial. Y'all so obsessed with Donald. You're more obsessed with Donald Trump than I am. Y'all Democrats, y'all are more obsessed with Donald Trump than I am. I got my conservative-minded coffee mug right here. You know what else I got? I got a conservative-minded T-shirt. Boom. Hit us up if you want one. Go check out beltwaygraphics.com. That's where we sell them at. So at beltwaygraphics.com, they're the ones that handle, and Beltway Designs, beltwaydesigns.com. They're the ones that handle all of our coffee mugs. They're the ones that handle our embroidered caps. They're the ones that handle our T-shirts. I'm sorry, I'm a little winded right now because I'm so amped up. I needed this drink. I need a cigar to calm down. So, I want you to go check out Rick and Denise. They are a veteran-owned, women-owned company. Everything is made right here in the United States. Check out beltwaydesigns.com. And, they have a little bit, I guarantee you, if you just kind of take a little peruse to their website, I guarantee you there's going to be something in there that you're going to like. Think about the grandkids. Think about your sons. Think about your daughters. Think about somebody that that you work with. Maybe somebody would really like and really appreciate something that you would find on the website there. And they've got an entire section on Comfortable Being Uncomfortable, which is another podcast. Very close with the people over there. Make sure that you go and check them out, and you can even pull them up wherever, you listen to your podcast at. And, check them out and tell them that Rob from, Conservative Minded sent you. And, another one of our sponsors for this program right here is the Tinderbox located in Waldorf, Maryland. And, whenever I want to, sip on something good and smoke a good cigar, today I'm smoking the Undercrown Drew Estates. I always go to the Tinderbox located in Waldorf, Maryland. If you ever find yourself in Pentagon City or Crystal City or someplace in the Washington, D.C. area, you've got to make sure that you go by the Tinderbox in Waldorf, Maryland, and check out my man Raj, and check out my man Raj is the owner, and Josh is the general manager, and they will treat you like family. Absolutely. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic place to go in, kick your feet up, try a different blend of a cigar that was made probably in some place you've never been before, like Nicaragua or Ecuador. And listen, to some nice jazz and sip on a nice a port wine or something along those lines. The Tinderbox in Waldorf, Maryland. Make sure you check them out. And when you go up there, tell them that Rob from Conservative Minded sent you. I had to wash that down a little bit with my bourbon. So back to what it was that I was talking about. It's just so much going on. And we could do this all day long, but I'm just going to move on to the next article because sometimes these stories, they just write themselves, and I don't have, and I don't make up anything. I don't get emotionally involved. We as conservatives, we are logical thinkers, and we do things, we think about things that make perfect sense. And so these types of things, they just make perfect sense. And all you have to do is just step out of your comfort zone for a little bit and just take a read. So here you go. We've got an article from redstate.com. And in this article, we've got Republican senators have bad news for Democrats expecting a conviction in Trump's impeachment. In this article is a senator named Rand Paul. Now, Rand Paul is a representative from Kentucky. And in this article, he says this: a staunch Trump ally, Rand Paul wrote an op-ed for The Hill newspaper in which he criticized the arguments of those pushing for impeachment. He said, to argue that any politician that tells a crowd to fight to take back your country is somehow an incitement is absurd. The senator brought up his experiences arguing that it wouldn't make sense to blame Democrat politicians for the actions of their followers. Do you remember, and I'm coming out of the article right now, do you remember not too long ago where a representative named Steve Scalise was shot multiple times during a congressional softball practice, and he was saved by a black female lesbian Capitol police officer? Well, guess what? The person that shot him was a staunch Bernie Sanders supporter. But let me continue. If we are to blame politicians for the most violent acts of their craziest supporters, then many of our colleagues would face some pretty harsh charges themselves, Senator Rand Paul stated. I've been shot at, assaulted, and harassed by supporters on the left, including some who directly said the words of politicians moved them to this violence. You know, it's absolutely funny that we go into 2021 with a president that has no Twitter account, no Facebook page. So his First Amendment right has been absolutely taken away from him. He's not able to communicate with anybody in the outside world without using someone else's social media page. But yet and still, we've got Ayatollahs from Iran that have Twitter pages. We have white supremacists that have Twitter pages, and they're able to tweet at will. Even the leader of North Korea has a Twitter account. Did they censor him? Bet your sweet ass they didn't. But they censored Donald Trump. So to get back into the article, the lawmaker, and I'll cut it short, the lawmaker pointed out that not one Republican stepped up to blame Bernie Sanders for the support that he be impeached or held responsible for the attempted assassination of more than 20 congressmen who were on that softball field that day. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the double standard. I want you to think about how you can say one thing and mean something totally different, but not when it comes to Republicans or conservatives, though. That's totally unheard of. So, you know, we absolutely must hold all conservatives, libertarians, and Republicans for the actions of a few outliers. That's what they are. Meanwhile, there's people in Antifa right now that are trying to burn down a courthouse in Seattle. Why don't we hold the Democrats responsible for their actions? Why don't we go to Kenosha? You know, why don't we go to Seattle? Why don't we go to Portland? Why don't we go to Denver, Colorado? And start holding Democrats responsible for the actions of their constituents. I bet you won't do that, though, will you? Damn right you won't. Let's jump into the comments real quick. Kalita K. Queen Anne says, who are you referring to when you say we? Are you saying those were Republicans out there causing all that havoc? I do not know. I wasn't there, but I can probably tell you that it wasn't us. It wasn't us Republicans. It wasn't us conservatives out there causing all that havoc. You want to know why? Because we believe in the rule of law. We support law enforcement. We support the Constitution. Those are the things that we support, the rule of law. That's what we do. I've got an AK-47 leaning against the wall behind me. But guess what? It's full of vodka. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you. let's say Helen Foster, Biden and all Democrats and rhinos are all in bed with the Chinese. You know what? I absolutely agree with you, Helen. And the reason why I agree with you is because did you know, and did the rest of you know, that Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, the president of the United States, Hunter Biden, his son, is under investigation by the FBI right now. And one of those allegations that he's under investigation for is for taking money from the Chinese. Oh, Helen, you hit the nail on the head. Thank you for tuning in. What else do we got here? Kathy Prussia, the law will never be equal or unbiased as long as politicians can be bought. That is absolutely correct. And that's the reason why conservatives are separate from Democrats. Because you can't buy a conservative. Because our principles, our ethics, our morals are rooted in the Constitution. We are not emotionally tied to anything unless it's pulling yourself up, doing for yourself, and then helping your fellow man. Those are the things that we believe in. The Democrats, I'm going to tell you what you guys believe. You guys believe in free shit, period. You want somebody to pay for your damn student loans. So let me get this straight. Little Timmy, your son, goes to some university and gets a degree, a 4-year degree in underwater basket weaving, and you want me to pay for it when I've got kids of my own in college. You're crazy. How in the hell is person A responsible for person B when he doesn't even know person B? That's what you guys want. So I'm on the hook for your family? Nah, that's not what we do here. Welcome to the United States. What else we got here? Oh man, we've got all sorts of comments here. So, oh my, is that a Trump hat? Joy Nicole. Yes, this Trump hat right here, I got it at the inauguration. For those of you that don't know, I got on a train, the Metro, something that I don't know anything about public transportation. And I took myself down to, what was that, Foggy Bottom? Someplace over there. I don't know, there's a bunch of metro stations. And I got off at one of them, and it was just a whole bunch of people out there when Donald Trump got inaugurated. And it was awesome. I mean, completely standing room only, and it was pretty cool. And I saw this hat, and if you take a look at it, it's even embroidered. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a hat that I'll never get rid of. And I've worn it out on several occasions and tried to see if I could get somebody to snatch it off my head. But being 6'5", and being black, I guess, all those little Antifa kids, they felt differently in real life than they did behind there, living in their mother's basement and behind a keyboard. So anyway, yes, Joy Nicole, that's a Trump hat. So yes, let's jump right on in here again. I want to specifically address the black community. And when I address the black community, everyone wants to sit here and talk about how it was the black community that sent Joe Biden and Kamala Harris over the top with their extra 5 or so million votes or whatever. And that might be the case. But what I do want to do is I want to point out this. And this is something that we definitely have to stop doing. In the black community, we are notorious for uplifting our celebrities and uplifting our musicians, and for some reason holding rich and famous people on some sort of pedestal. Okay? And I think that really comes down to us having the lack of leadership in the black community. For example, we've got this guy, for lack of a better word, named Spike Lee, famous movie director. And in this article published by Breitbart, director Spike Lee attacked Donald Trump on Sunday while accepting an award from the New York Film Critics Circle. And in this article, he says, the world is laughing at the United States of America. the so-called cradle of democracy, he said in a virtual acceptance speech recorded on January 6th. We're at a crossroads now, and everybody please be safe. This is not a game. These people got guns with ammunition, the filmmaker warned. Quote, I hope to God that I am wrong, but people are going to get killed behind this bullshit. This president, President Agent Orange, referring to Donald Trump, will go down in history with the likes of Hitler. Oh boy. Well, let's address this, shall we? Because I think that I'm tired of Spike Lee speaking for the black community, because Spike Lee is a fucking idiot. All right? Like I said, parental advisory lyrics here. Okay? Spike Lee is an idiot. Number one, Adolf Hitler was a Nazi. If you know anything about the Nazi Party, you'll realize that they were not Republicans, they were not conservatives, they were socialists. Okay? They were leftists, extreme leftists. That's what they were. That was before the world had to get all together and kick Adolf Hitler's ass. But if you go back and you look up the National Socialist Party, you'll come up with Nazi. So, number one, Donald Trump, President 45, was not a Nazi. Number two, you are an idiot, Spike Lee, because instead of just accepting your award in whatever fly-by-night film festival that you decided to become a member of, or, you know, somebody ran down to the local trophy store and spent $40 and got you a trophy, and you decided that now you're as smart as Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was also questionable. You're an idiot. Flat out. You are an idiot, Mr. Spike Lee. And the reason why I say that is because these people got guns and ammunition, and people were going to get killed. Real rap. Real rap. Sorry, I just read a comment that was pretty interesting. Real rap, we need to stop idolizing people like you. You don't speak for us. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you might be one hell of a filmmaker, but that's pretty much it. I don't need you to speak for me. I don't need you to speak for my family. Damn sure don't need you to speak for my race. And I don't need you to try to pigeonhole my political affiliation. Okay? So do me a favor. Stop thinking that you're the smartest guy in the room and just go somewhere, sit down, and shut up. Enjoy your millions, and just the millions that you're going to hoard and not donate to charity. And enjoy your millions that you're going to, like Scrooge McDuck, dive into and swim around in your gold coins and stuff. And to hell with everybody else in New York and the rest of the country. You're not doing anything to help anybody. Yeah, just as far as I'm concerned. Just do me a favor, Spike Lee. Don't speak for me. Don't speak for us. We can speak for ourselves. So that's where we're at. So, with that being said, and back to my original tangent, and what I was talking about was marital privilege. The press is in bed with the Democrats, and the Democrats have been utilizing the benefits that the press has afforded them for 4+ years. I mean, really heavily over the last 4 years that Donald Trump was in office. And even though Donald Trump has not been in office for 5 days, we've already seen an uptick in hostile activity when it comes to foreign policy. The stock market is kind of fair to middling. Okay, it's just kind of hovering. Your feckless, impotent foreign policy and domestic policy, it's terrible, and it's going to come to show. It's going to show. Joe Biden's already come out and said his first 5 days in office that there's nothing that he can do about the virus. And what you're going to watch is you're going to continue to watch this, and I'm going to predict this right here. And you've heard it here first. You're going to watch Joe Biden and the Democrats use this impeachment trial to cover the first 100 days of Joe Biden's failures in the White House. It's going to be a smokescreen. That's what's going to happen. He's going to use Donald Trump as a smokescreen for his failures. 100 million people vaccinated in the first 100 days. Oh, I remember, Joe Biden. I remember when you said it. I have a snapshot of what the stock market was with the day that you got inaugurated. Let's see what the stock market looks like a year from now on the same day. So on January 20th, 2022, I'm going to be taking a look at the stock market, and I'm going to drag your ass. I promise you, I'm going to drag you. Oh, boy. That's where we are. We've got a militarized arm of the Democrat Party out here. Still haven't been able to get an anti-lynching bill through. They've tried over 200 times over the last 150 years to pass an anti-lynching bill. Still hasn't been passed. See if you pass it now. You got control of the White House. You got control of the Senate. You got control of Congress. Let's see if you pass, if you put your money where your mouth is. I bet you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything. You want to know why? Because all you guys want is control. And now that you've got control, now what? What's going to happen? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with it? Trust me, people like me, we're going to be paying attention. And I'm going to let everybody out there know too. Listen, and before I sign off, I'm going to say one more thing. I'm the new wave. I'm the problem. I'm the problem for people like the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives. I'm your problem. I'm black, educated, and I'm a conservative. I believe in the Constitution, small government, traditional values, the nuclear family. And I'm your problem. And everybody out there that has a little R next to their name that is currently holding an office, be it in Charles County, Maryland, the state of Maryland, or the federal government, I'm letting you know right now, I'm putting you on notice, we're coming for you. You rhinos, you backseat Republicans, you want to be conservatives, promise everybody all this shit, and then as soon as you get in office, you forget about us for the next 4 years, for the next 6 years. I'm the new wave. I'm the new one. I'm that guy. And you know what else? I'm going to lead a charge to get you rooted out of office. We're going to vote your asses out of office and replace you with people that will do the job. So consider this right now your warning. I'm coming for you, and so are 74 million of my friends. Conservative Minded Podcast. Check us out.
The best of you was a no-show, even though I never thought so. I never knew you were with someone new. Memories, scenes in slow